Slavery in our world today, what you should know. I'm here today to inform you of a modern-day form of slavery, the most talked about forms, as indicated by Joel Clark in the Journal of Human Rights article, included smuggling people into other countries with the promise of citizenship, forced labor for very little wages or nothing at all, and in particular, sexual servants. Recognizing the horrible faces of slavery came about full force after the Cold War. Since the Cold War, the anti-slavery agenda has been dominated by the issue of human trafficking. Human trafficking, most people have not heard of, but about 5 years ago, the crime is the modern-day equivalent of slavery. The main points are being focused on the sexual slavery or forced prostitution, especially of children. According to one article outlawing slavery, any form is illegal in every country in the world, and it was banned by the 1948 Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The article also states there are an estimated 27 million slaves worldwide today in our society. These numbers are mostly concentrated to the Asian Pacific, where the sex slavery trade is just astronomical, specifically Thailand. The International Labor Organization concentrated, it estimates that 3/4 of the world's population, that there are some form of forced labor and sexual servants occur in these regions of the world, according to the report and Trafficking in Persons report by Thomas B. Cullen, published in the Journal of the American Medical Association. We now know the different forms of slavery. Let's discuss how it has spread so far from each corner of our world. The most obvious reasons would be for profit. Mark P. Ligon, who wrote Modern Day Slavery, Human Trafficking, The Terrible Toll, for the Washington Times, has completed extensive research on this matter. He has found that 800,000 slave owners make more money than Google and Starbucks combined per day. That is an astronomical amount. On the cases of sexual slavery, a slave owner owning just 3 young children slaves can profit $250,000 per year in Cambodia. And that's just in one country alone. In researching this topic, I found many articles from all over the world, from Mexico, Canada, France, UK, different countries in Europe. But I could not find one single article in Thailand or Cambodia on the atrocities that happen with the sex trade, the slave trade in those two different countries. Thailand obviously realizes that they do have a problem. They've actually, leaders from their government, they've selected 50 public prosecutors serving different provinces there in Thailand, and their goal is to familiarize these select 50 with their roles and duties under the 2008 Anti-Human Trafficking Law. The act just came into force on June 8, 2008. You would have thought this would have come into effect many years ago. And it was written about in the Bangkok Post. Many of these countries that let these types of crimes go unpunished are very poor countries, including Cambodia and Vietnam and Thailand. Wealthy Europeans and U.S. citizens who vacation in these spots take advantage of these children and these opportunities, as they call them. According to the Washington Times, since 2001, the U.S. has made available $528 million in an initiative to halt slavery worldwide. In the United States alone, 400 children have been rescued from prostitution. Yes, it's happening in our own country. It happens every day. There still needs to be more done about the situation, and being aware is probably key here. We need to be aware of what's going on, especially in our own country. President Bush stated before the UN Council in 2003 that we must show new energy in fighting back an old evil. The trade in human beings for any purpose must not be allowed to thrive in our time, as stated in the InfoTrack newspapers. In conclusion, we can do something about this. We've got to do something about this. And being informed is step one. Slavery has transpired to every part of the world, even the U.S., as you've just seen. And it's increasing every day with these poor innocent children. There are ways to combat this war. All governments must stand together for all forms of slavery to end. Slavery may still be going on as I speak of this topic at this moment, but just being aware of this problem is a beginning step in trying to end world slavery. Thank you.